Welcome back, everybody. My name is Joe. This is Work Hard RC, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Traxxas Mini XRT. Let's go ahead, open it up, and check it out. Alright, so we have the Traxxas Mini XRT in hand. We got it a little bit later than what we would have liked. It came out last Friday, and currently it is Tuesday. There was a little bit of delays with our hobby store and getting it in stock, but we do have it now. Let's go ahead and check it out. So this is the Mini XRT. So it's the mini version, as you can tell, of the full-size XRT. We went ahead and got it in the orange color. They do have it in the blue, which is like a blue and purple different mix, and in the red, and then also in the green. So given we have some other different colors, we have the WideMaxx in green, we have the orange for the Jado there. Last one I got was a Jado, and it was pretty cool in the orange, so we decided to go with that. But let's go ahead and open this up, check out what's in the box, and quickly go over it. I do already have a video going over the specs. If you guys want to check that out, I'll link it either on the top or on the bottom. You guys can check that video out if you want more in-depth on the specs. But for now, let's go ahead and open this up and check out what's in the box so you guys can actually visually see it. So we're opening it on the controller side. So we do have our controller there. This is with the iLink enabled. So we do have to, the TQI, eventually get that adapter so we can run that. One thing I'll probably do on this, since it's a little bit smaller and I can probably do some good one-handed controls on this, is I did pick up at the RC Super Show the MSM, the Mark Santa Maria adapter for the one-handed control there. So we might put that on here just to test it out. We'll see how that goes, but let's go ahead and continue taking this thing out. Typical packaging, as you guys all know, from Traxxas. We got the bag here, all the goodies. We'll open that right now. And we have the Mini XRT. Doesn't look much bigger than the WideMaxx at all, but let's go ahead and check out if there's anything else in here. I think it comes with a battery and a charger. It's probably in the back right here. So let's check that out. Get rid of this box. All right, before we take the plastic off of that, let's check out what it comes with here. So we do have a 2S battery here that comes with the vehicle. So nice that you have the battery there. And inside of the packaging here, we should have the charger and everything else. Let's take a look. We have, of course, our tools, X tool there for the wheels, different Allen keys. We have our spacers for the shock adjustments there, and some more there. We do have some stickers here to kind of personalize your XRT. And then you do have some promotional packaging there with all the information as far as the chargers, different battery packs and things you can get. You have your warranty card there, so make sure you guys fill that out if you want to take advantage of the Traxxas warranty. And then we have the manual. So you want to read over that. We do tend to look over this to make sure there's nothing different from this model to the next, which in the most part is very similar to the WideMaxx with some exceptions here. But let's know that you have that instruction manual there. And then we do have the charger here. And I believe this is, it's already opened here, USB-C capable, and it is. So very similar to what you guys have seen with Traxxas recently. I probably have a few of these already, so this is just going to the side into a box that we have with a bunch of these. So maybe good to travel with. If you guys want to take your full-on charge, you can take this. Pretty cool little charger there to have with you, just in case you forget yours. Not as quick of a charger, but you do have it, and it comes with it. So let's put all this on the side and take a look at the Mini XRT. All right. All right, so looking at it real quick, it does look a bit different, but there it is. And again, we went with the orange. Looking very nice. Get that hood scoop. Wheelie bar there. Nice wing. I do like the protection up here, so should we flip over, that'll help protect that body a little bit. But there it is, the Mini XRT. Let's go ahead and take the cover off and briefly look at the inside. Again, I did mention that, oh, you know what? Just saw this right here. This does have a cutout here. I'm not sure if this is on all of them. Let me check real quick on... It does have a cutout here. I wonder if this is a promotional... Does it have a cutout on there? I don't believe it has a cutout on the body, on the window here. Does it? Let's see if we can zoom in here. Well, if anything, you guys can check this out. But mine has a cutout. I'm assuming this might be a promotional body, so you can see the inside. But I'll take a further look and see if any of you guys has that there. Maybe that's to keep it cool. I'm not too sure. I didn't show that in the pictures, but I could be wrong. So it does have a hole there for the window. See there, peeking. And then you have a hole here in the back. Again, that could be for ventilation. Let's take a look at this here. Easy setup for the system inside. It's all nice and bundled up. But this is a 3S, like I mentioned before. This is a 3S system. This has the VXL-3s system there. So you do see, let me see if I can get a better look at the motor here. So I got that bundled away there. Check out the motor. And then you can see here, the ESC is waterproof, and you can get a better look at the Velineon 3S system there. So a big difference, or a bit bigger than the Mini Max. This does have the 2075X servo, which sits right up here in the front. That's going to be a metal geared servo. So you'll have that. That'll be hopefully a lot or last a lot longer than the regular 2075. I did have issues with the JADO with the 2075. This one's metal geared, so you shouldn't have any issues with it stripping out on you. But again, only time will tell. But let's go ahead and grab the Mini Max real quick. This does have the wider stance, the wider body kit on there. So you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like there. I'm just going to see if I can find a better picture on the site. Yeah, this might be just maybe a body for promotional purposes to be able to see the inside. But again, I'll double check that. But let's check out the Mini Max. And you can see this one does not have that wide body or the wide arm installed. But you can kind of see it if we lay the Mini Max on the bottom and this one on top. You can see how much wider that is with the XRT on top. But as far as the two, looking at them from the bottom, very similar in the frame. Very similar in the size as far as the length. And put this body back on. We'll take a look at the height. Just visually checking it out here. We can get more technical in the specs a little bit later, but you kind of see here side by side, very similar in the height as well. So you have the Mini Max here running the 2S system, and then you have the new XRT running the 3S system. So this one does not come with a wheelie bar or a wing. This one does, similar to like its big brother. And again, like the protection up top. And that nice little scoop there. Now this is a functioning hood scoop, so the air flow actually does go through there. And again, you have that rear window opened up there. And again, I'm gonna do some research real quick, just to double check if it comes like that. But for sure, a little bit of a step up from the Mini Max, but again, just a little bit as far as the internals. The wheels look a little bit more robust. Otherwise, very similar in the material. Now these both have the heavy duty kits installed, so it's going to have a lot thicker plastic, a lot thicker material. And again, you do have the oil filled shocks. Let me open it up here, give you guys a closer look at that. There. And then you have your battery compartment right here, which is going to fit your 2S battery perfectly, just like that. So very nice, very clean for the time being. And with that servo upgraded and that upgraded 3S system, should be a lot of fun. But real quick, I'm going to dive in real quick and check out this body. Not that it's that big of a deal. I just didn't expect there to be a nice little hole there. My internals, on the most part, stay pretty dirty. So I don't think that's going to do me too much favors with that being opened there. But again, even if it is a, say, a show model body, and it has that opened up, at least we have some good airflow there. So I'm going to go and check that out real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so after a little research, I did find out that that hole in the front and in the rear is intentional. Now, the reason why I didn't see it at first is because on the website and when I initially did my first video, there wasn't any hole in the pictures. A lot of the first videos that came out from the folks who received their cars from Traxxas directly in advance didn't have that hole as well. So this is something that's on the models that were sent out, from what I understand, and that is for ventilation as an intake for air to go through to keep everything nice and cool on the inside. Now I do plan on running this with the 2S battery as well as the 3S battery, so we'll see how well that holds up as far as heat and if those holes do really help. Now it's pretty cool that I guess they put that thought into allowing those holes as an intake to have good airflow to keep everything nice and cool. This servo here, you can see when you put this back on, as I had it on there, nice intake there, but it is blocked by the servo, so that's more than likely why they put that ventilation here to keep that nice airflow. Now the reason why I don't like it is because, you know, I do clean up my vehicles in the most part after I go out driving them. It's always, as you guys know, a hassle to be cleaning up all the dirt and debris that gets inside. So not too many intake areas on the Mini-Maxx, given it's nice and sealed up there. You do have a little bit of holes here, but in the most part it stays decently clean. Where now I have an entry point there on top and in the rear, and of course underneath the fender wells there. So that's kind of weird. We'll see, maybe I'll put some I don't know, some screen or something to keep it a little bit cleaner. But you know, part of the fun, I guess, for me is cleaning it up afterwards and taking a look at it inside and detailing it up. So not too bad, I guess. I just think that I don't know, I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I guess we'll tell and see if it makes a difference. If it runs fine on 2S without overheating, great. If I run it in 3S and it doesn't overheat, then I guess it did its job. So just know that if you have another version, or a newer version, I guess, being shipped out, that you will have that hole in the front right there. You also have it in the back. Now, I don't mind the rear too much, but I don't necessarily like that hole there in the front. So just know that is the case for the Mini XRT, that on the body and the window, you'll have that hole cut out. Now, it is intentional. It doesn't look like it was done after the fact. Looks very cleanly cut. So, again, it's something that I think Traxxas made note of maybe when they were testing it or what have you. If they're maybe comparing it to like the Mini-Maxx, where it didn't necessarily have an issue because it had taller shock towers there. Just know, again, to reiterate, if you're not liking that hole there, it's going to be there more than likely if you order this car. Now, they are available online from Traxxas directly May 23rd. They were released last Friday, I believe, which was the 9th of May. So if you guys have one already and you guys have that cutout, let me know in the comments. If you guys don't have it, then I guess you maybe were one of the lucky ones that got it in one of the first runs, who knows? But there it is in all of its glory. I do like the color. I do like the stance. Again, I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger, and then reading the specs, it didn't say that it was gonna be bigger. I just expected it to. But the only difference really is the length, and that length comes from the wheelie bar and the wing there. But essentially the same exact chassis, a little bit different shock towers, wider stance because of that wide kit that's installed. So you can see how much wider it is there. But overall, they're basically the same, just with a different price tag. This one sells for $369. This one's about less, I believe about $269, about $100 cheaper. Now I know you can run 3S on this one, and they do compensate with some things in here to allow for that 3S, but essentially same frame as the Mini Max here. So I will race these, we'll test them side by side, but for now, let's go ahead and take this thing out, give it a good test run on 2S, then we'll give it a good test run on 3S, see how it does, and see if those hose help those cutouts on 3S and keeping everything cool. So there it is, Mini XRT, nice little compact, fun little car. Hopefully we'll see how it goes, but let's go ahead and take it out. All right, so I was about to take everything out, and I happened to set these side by side down on the table, and I thought, you know, let me go ahead and open up and show you guys side by side what they look like looking down on them. So we'll check that out right now. All right, so here we have the Mini Max, and here we have the Mini XRT. So I was looking at them from the top, you can kind of see the differences and similarities. Now they do share the same chassis, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now I knew that was gonna be the case, but looking at it side by side, they look very, very, very similar. The only difference really is the internals, which I'll show you here again briefly, kind of get a better view of them. So this Mini Max does seem a bit taller than this one. This does, for whatever reason, seem a lot bigger than what it is, where this is more sleek, kind of have better lines and things looking at it from the top here. And then again, this one looks longer, but that's only because of the wing and the wheelie bar. Essentially, they're the same length here. And as far as width, we already know this one's wider, but let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. Again, they both share the clipless mounting system. That is something Traxxas has been doing for a while now. But here now, if they're side by side, you can really see what they look like and what they really share. So biggest difference right off, you're going to see this one on the Mini Max has taller towers for the shocks, where this one's lower. Now you can see those are more upright, so it's going to sit taller here in general, where these are a little more out and the shock towers are shorter. Now because of that, it does look like the servo is sitting lower, but in reality it's because of the shock towers being taller here on this one. So you can see the differences in the servos here. The blue one for the 2075, or let me see which one is that. 2056, sorry. So different servo there. This is the 2075X with the metal gearing. And then you can see the BL2S system compared to the 3S system. Then you can see the BL2S system here compared to the 3S system. It does share everything else as far as a receiver, the same size battery box, which is going to fit your either 3S or your 2S battery. Now it does come with the 2S. You can kind of see how that fits in there. And again, that's the same exact compartment that you have on this one because they do share the chassis. So exactly the same there. As far as the drivetrain, everything is the same here. And those share the same transmission casing, and you can also see that the location of the clipless mounting systems there is the same. Now if you look at them from the front, you can see they have similarities there as well, but they do look different in the front as far as the bumpers. And I do plan on getting a light kit for the XRT. And then again, from the tires, you do see that these have a little more deeper tread, where these seem to be more road tires. So this one will probably do a little better in the dirt, where this one maybe not so much. But again, we'll test these side by side in a different video and really see what they look like in comparison when they're driving together. So I just wanted to show you guys what the Mini Max looks like internally, side by side with the new Mini XRT. So not too much differences in the sense of just looking at it, but you do really have a lot of differences in the internal as far as functionality, the upgraded servo, motor, and everything else as far as the tires and the wider stance on the XRT. So let's go ahead now and charge up the 2S, check that out. We'll charge up our 3S, and we'll check it out with the 3S as well, and really push this thing to the max. So now let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. All right, so we're out here about to test out our Mini XRT. We're gonna first test it out with the 2S, which I have installed right now. After that, I'll let you guys know we're gonna change it out to the 3S battery. But we're gonna first check out some whoops on it, get some little jumps in with the 2S, and then we'll run it on the 3S and do very similar jumps and straightaways. We'll take it to another location just further down that's a little more straight, and we'll really open it up and see how fast we can get it going on 2S and 3S. So let's go ahead and have some fun and see what this thing can do. All right, let's go ahead and send it. Oh, looks like we had it flip over already. Haven't been to this area in a bit, so changes up from time to time. So we fell here in a little dip. Not the fault of the car, just couldn't see where it was going. There it is. But now that we're out here, let's go ahead and check it out, some of these jumps. The 2S, it does have a lot of power, similar to the Mini Max. Oh, there it is again. These little things want to fly everywhere. As you can see, there's a lot of rocks. So let's see if we can get a little more stable. Well, we know that it's a Traxxas and it can take a hit, so far so good. We got some little rocks stuck up in here. We'll see how that hole does. See how dirty it gets in there. You know, I do know of a jump over here. Let's take him over here. Same place we took our Notorious. Now this is on 2S. See how it does on this little jump right here. There it is. So we can catch some good air. See if we don't break anything, hopefully, before we get a chance to put that 3S in there. Nice. Looking pretty good. Let's get one more good jump out there. Oh. Didn't land that one. Looks like everything's still intact, just a little bit dirty. Do have a lot of weeds out here, so let's go and grab this guy out of here. See if we can get out of the weeds here and out of these rocks. on 2S there, super quick. It doesn't seem much faster than the Mini Max. Seems to maybe control a little bit better. And that's going to be due probably to that wider stance. Whew. A lot of flips there. Good range. Oh, hit that rock. Probably move some of these guys out of the way. Seems like it took a well. All right. Throttle from a standstill here. Nice front flip. It's decently controllable on 2S. Now it's going to go when it's on a 3S. I think now is a good time as ever to put this thing on 3S. Actually, you know what? We have a... Get it. One more full throttle on 2S. All right. From a stop, full throttle. Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and throw that 3S in there. See what we can do. All right, we just put the 3S battery. Look, we're ready to go. It did feel a little bit hot when I opened it up, but that was just on 2S, so see what we can do on 3S. See the power difference here. Whew. Definitely a power difference there. Rolling wheelie. I don't think I got any wheelies in the 2S. Oh. All right. A lot of torque, a lot of power with that 3S battery. Definitely made a difference. I was kind of wondering why I wasn't popping any wheelies with that 2S. Makes sense. Get some more wheelie action here. Ooh. Held that pretty good, even in the dirt. Definitely a lot faster. The 3S, obviously. Rated at 55 miles an hour with that 3S. 40 miles an hour with that 2S. So that it does deliver with that 3S. Love those wheelies in the dirt. I basically do wheelie with that 3S whenever I want. That's legit. I like that. Alright, let's go from stop to full throttle. 3, 2, 1. Start that again. Too much torque there. Let's go half throttle then full throttle. So 3, 2, 1. The moment I hit that full throttle, it gets up on the back wheel. Nice. Well, we see that 3S does make a huge difference. Let's take it back over to our hill over there and see what kind of jumps we can get out of it. This thing's definitely going to give vehicles of its size a run for its money. So I thought about putting this thing up against the Mini Max, but I think a fair race would be the Mini Max in 2S versus this in a 2S. However, the Raptor and the Jado seem to be a promising race. Maybe I'll put this up against the Raptor in 3S and this in 3S. Alright, let's see what we can do on this jump here. If we can avoid some of these rocks. Hopefully this isn't the last of our fun. If we don't break anything here, get some good speed up on this hill. Backflip, oh, landed on its back there. Overcorrected there. Let's check this thing out. So we're still good. Everything's intact. Let's see open up the jump. Let's see if we'll land that backflip. Oh, almost landed on this front bumper there. Oh, we lost the steering. Let's see what we broke here. Oh, that's why we lost the steering right there. Oh, man, that's an easy fix. Nice. Well, thought it might be the last of the fun, but this thing rips in 3S. It looks pretty dirty. We'll have to get that a nice thorough cleaning. Let's open it up and see what it looks like on the inside. See how much this hole here affected us. Let's see. Is it good? It doesn't feel too hot. Not too dirty, not too bad. The hole didn't make too much of a difference. But yep. Luckily, only one thing. So get that fixed up, we'll bring it back out. A lot of fun in 3S. Definitely worth it if you want to get some really fast, high power small minis out here. Let's go ahead and take it back, talk about it. We'll get this part order, get it fixed up, but a lot of fun. All right, so we did have some fun with our XRT. I didn't take it out as long as I would have liked. Now, we did drive a lot more with the 2S. It is a lot of fun with the 2S battery installed. As you guys saw, I drove it for a good amount of time there. Got it up on that hill a little bit, got a good little air time with it, but I really wanted to push it with the 3S, so we installed that battery, and of course, we had a lot more fun with it. As you guys saw, we popped some wheelies. It's a really easy to do that, even like mid throttle when you're really pushing it. So really cool that it has all that extra power with the 3S. Now with that extra power, you're going to be a little bit brave, probably like I was, and try to get some good air. And that's when we had that break. So it is a toe link here that broke. That goes into the steering link right there. So not too big of a break. It's only a $6 part. The part that you're gonna be looking for should you break something on one of these arms is gonna be the WideMaxx kit that you can get for the Mini Max or for this, since this one already has it installed and it shares those parts, you can just order that toe link from there. And again, for two of them, it's $6. So I'm gonna get that part ordered. We'll take it out and have some more fun on that 3S battery. We may take it out to the skate park and see how it does there. But overall, it is a lot of fun in the 3S. Now, would I say it's more fun than the Mini Max in a 2S? I would say in a 2S for the XRT, the Mini XRT is just as fun as the Mini Max. So if you're looking to purchase something that you're not looking for like a crazy amount of power, I would say the Mini Max would be the way to go. It is about $269, so $100 less than the Mini XRT. Now, if you want something that's really fast, a lot of fun, get some good air times, a little bit wider. Now, I can say that this is a bit easier to control, a bit easier to drive. Now, that could be because of the wider stance, which more than likely is what it is. And then, of course, you have the wheelie bar, which kind of helps keep it on the ground. Now, on the 2S with the Mini Max, it is really torquey. I'm always popping wheelies on that. I couldn't get too much. I couldn't get too many wheelies with the 2S with the Mini XRT for whatever reason. But with the 3S, you saw that I can just hold that wheelie for basically as long as I wanted to in the dirt. So that was a lot of fun. So if you own the Mini Max, I would say you probably don't want to buy the Mini XRT just because that bump up in power. If you guys are having fun with the Mini Max, I would say you're not going to have too much more fun with the XRT if you don't already own the Mini Max. Now, if you don't own the Mini Max and you're looking to get something of this size, then that's when I would recommend the Mini XRT, because of the fact that you get all that extra power with the 3S, you get some more stability even in the 2S, and you can still have a lot of fun. You get that wheelie bar, you get that wing, and then you get the 3S system installed with the bigger motor and all the better internals with that servo that's metal geared and the WideMaxx kit installed. So if you don't own a Mini Max and you're looking for something this size, I would say get the Mini XRT. However, if you already own the Mini Max, I would say maybe just get that wide body upgrade for it and call it good. The 2S system on this is great, drives great, it's a lot of fun. You can do a lot of upgrades to that and probably keep it at a lesser cost than this. But again, if you're looking to have some fun, get some good speed, get some good air, I would say the Mini XRT is the way to go. Now for me, if I went back and did it all over again, I would say I would probably just upgrade my Mini Max. Now, since I already own it, we're going to go ahead and push it to its full potential. We're going to get that fixed up there. We're going to get some more air with it. And maybe I'll get another cameraman. It is a little bit harder for me to have the camera mounted in my controller and try to get some good air time and try to get some good footage. So if I had a better setup for myself with another cameraman, I could probably focus more on landing. That landing again was my fault, and that's why we had that break there. But again, for what it was and how high it was, I'm surprised it's the only thing that broke, honestly. So a lot of fun. I don't necessarily like that hole. I don't think it really got anything too dirty. I just don't like the look of it. Again, that could just be me. Aesthetically, I just don't like that hole there. So just keep that in mind when you guys are in the market for this. And I do thank everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comment. And if you did get a model like this without that hole there, also let me know. I'll have to check online to see if they have any of the bodies without that. I'm not sure if it makes too much of a difference cooling this thing down on 3S. I probably won't have any heating issues because I have that hole, but I'd like to get the body without that hole. So we'll see if we can get that and have it sent out to us as well. We're going to definitely get that part ordered, and we'll have another video out pushing the Mini XRT to the max. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.